Welcome. r/IDontWorkHereLady. Update 10. Seriously 10. To do you know who I'm backfires on business owner? This is an update to post 1 which is a story and updates 1 to 8 and post 2 which is update 9 and some extra requested info. Update 10. I think there might be some karmic justice on its way. Noisy gobshite has been interviewed under caution. It doesn't mean they are definitely taking legal action against him, but it means they are preparing for the possibility. They also did the same with the project manager and they are going to do it with the fired site manager next week. The site manager is confident he has nothing to worry about. The decision to remove the roof support sections was made after he was fired. He said he was confident that if he'd been there at the time of the illegal alteration, the noisy gobshite would have tried to pass responsibility. Or as site manager put it, that cowardly slope-shouldered turd would have shat all over me to save his own skin. Can turds shit? Luckily, the project manager has proof, in the form of an email, that Noisy Gobshite ordered the work. Noisy Gobshite tried to persuade/bribe him not to pass it on to the people investigating this for the local authority planning department. When that didn't work, he tried to threaten him. That backfired because not only did project manager ignore the threats, but he told the investigators that Noisy Gobshite told him to lose the email. I have a lawyer friend who tells me that interfering with a witness and destruction of evidence are offenses in themselves. Noisy Gobshite won't stop digging himself a deeper hole. I'm going to be so disappointed if he gets away without legal consequences. He is definitely suffering though. The big news of the week. Noisy Gobshite has been fired. David announced it yesterday, Saturday, after he was told by no less than 4 different employees of account. He said they couldn't wait to tell him. Then the conversation went like this. Me, how is that fucking possible? How does the owner get fired? Did he walk up to a mirror and say you're as much use as in Frank's drum kit, you're fired? David, nope. You know he inherited the business from his dad and uncle? Me, yep. David, you know his brother and cousin own a slice each? Me, yep. David, well, their combined share is over 50%. So they fired him. According to Louise, the accounts manager, they are pissing their pants. They were happy to leave Noisy Gobshite in charge, as long as the money rolled in, but now their golden goose looks very sick. They are terrified that losing this contract and the penalties and fines will finish the business. So, they are appealing to the client/property owner to take ACC back to finish the contract. Part of that involves convincing the building owner that Noisy Gobshite will never have anything to do with the company. Obviously, they are throwing Noisy Gobshite under the bus. Louise said there was screaming and threats of violence from Noisy Gobshite when they fired him. He had to be escorted off the premises. He's been phoning employees asking questions and seems surprised when people don't want to help him. According to Louise, he actually thinks the employees like him and want to be loyal to him. She said the man is in cloud cuckoo land. Me, he's going to be so pissed off. I wish I could see that numped his face as it was happening. David, it's nothing that the scrote doesn't deserve. There is something else, but I can't tell you, because I promised the person who told me that I wouldn't tell anyone yet. Me, you fucking tease. How important is it? David, it's huge. Life-changing for the subject. I wish I could tell you, because it nearly gave me a hard-on. Me, fucking hell, it must be big if it can get that ugly appendage to do anything except hang there like the last chicken in the shop. Your wife must have been pleased. David, what a drama. She thinks I should tell her this thing I was told in confidence. She thinks I should be able to tell her everything because we're married. I explained it's not my secret to share. I was hoping I'd get I appreciate you have integrity dear husband, but no. I've got an angry missus who thinks I'm a knobhead. Louise and her job title have been changed to protect the innocent. It seems like it will be a couple of months before he can give me this awesome news, so I don't want any of you holding your breath. The client/building owner has done their inspection. 2 areas are unacceptable as expected. The damaged area and the part that David should have done, but was done by Stefan. They are very unhappy. When listed buildings are damaged, the local authority normally assumes it's the owner taking shortcuts, but in this case the owner is a crusty old institution dedicated to preserving important buildings. They are not used to being accused of anything shady, so they did not like having to prove they had nothing to do with the damage to the building. David said it looks like they've written off ACC because they've issued a type of request for tenders to several other contractors who specialize in conservation. He then spilled a lot of jargon I neither understood or remembered. Me, in simple English, they have asked a few companies to quote a price for the job. David, that's a very simplistic way of describing it, but I don't have the time or the crayons to explain it to you. So okay, let's say they're asking for prices for the job. Condescending twat. So I was hoping this story would build up to a crescendo with noisy gobshite suffering something horrible, but it's just sort of fizzled out with a whimper while we wait to see what legal action is going to be taken. Real life is inconveniently slow. The 21st of January 2020. Hi, this is Mark's wife. The idiot asked me to apologize to the internet for his silence. He was hurt in a car accident on the 7th of January. We are sure he's going to make a full recovery, but he won't be online for a while. I said it's just Reddit, but he's an obsessive lunatic about not letting people down, so I promised I would add Reddit to the list. So here I'm telling all the people that he doesn't know why he hasn't finished telling them something they are probably not reading anyway. The 3rd of February 2020. Hi, Mark's wife again. There were over 200 direct messages. Thank you all for your comments and for wishing him well. I've read them all to him. I'm going to answer the 3 most common questions. What happened to Mark? He was stationary in his car in a queue to leave the motorway when a large lorry drove straight into the back of him. His car was crushed between that lorry and the lorry in front of Mark. He has several broken bones. Nose and left orbital and cheekbone, left radius and ulnar, forearm, 4 bones in left hand, right tibia and fibula, lower leg, 4 ribs, one of which punctured his left lung. There is some damage to the central vision of his left eye which we hope is temporary. He has some damage to the tendons in his right hand, which need more surgery. Lots of cuts. Total of 112 stitches. He looks like a mess, but there is a chance that he might recover without any permanent damage. If it was me I wouldn't cope, but he has always been as tough as nails for as long as I've known him. When I first got to the hospital, and he was lying there covered in blood and wires and tubes and he couldn't speak properly, I went to pieces. He had me laughing within minutes. He's always been good at knowing the right thing to say. The thing that is bothering him most right now is not being able to use his hands. When will he update the story? It could be a while. I could ask the friend he has called David for an update, but I definitely can't tell a story like Mark can. Obviously I'm biased, but I think Mark is the funniest man I've ever met. When he and David get started I laugh so much I can hardly breathe. For now, I've told him to forget about everything except getting well, but if it starts to bother him, I've told him I'll do some secretary roleplay, and he can dictate the story to me. I know he will finish it. He always finishes what he starts. I wish I had a tenth of his self-discipline. A few have asked if they can send him cards, or gifts or money, to help with medical bills or lost earnings. Thank you so much for offering, but it's not necessary. We're in the UK so, thankfully, healthcare is free. He doesn't want anyone's money. If anyone feels the need to do something, there is a charity that we have supported for a long time called Macmillan Cancer Support. You can donate at https://www.macmillan.org.uk/donate. They are always grateful for any amount big or small. Update 23rd May 2020. Mark's wife again. I'm sorry about ignoring you all for so long. There is an update here. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you would like to see more, feel free to subscribe.